All right. Hello, everyone. I am back. There is been some issues with Zoom and going live in the Facebook group. So, anyways, thank you everyone for joining me. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but Zoom and Facebook have changed the way that we can go live within the group. So I am going to be going live today. Thank you for everyone who is joining me. I think I can actually see your comments here live. So for those of you that are joining me live right now, say hello in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me today. The topic of today's live training is going to be about how to burn body fat and not muscle. And I think this is an important topic to discuss because, a lot of people are just focused on weight loss. A lot of women are just focused on weight loss. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for joining me. So I think it's a really important topic to be talking about this because there is a really big difference between weight loss and fat loss. And we really just want to be focusing on our journey. A lot of you are here because you want to improve your body composition. But we do really want to be talking about why we want to just be burning fat and not muscle, okay? And the reason why we want to do that, so before I get into everything, we want to talk about, why it's important that we want to be burning fat and not muscle, especially for women over the age of 40. So let's break this down. The number one reason why we want to make sure that we are not losing muscle, but we are just burning body fat is because muscle tissue is very metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories at rest. And the more muscle mass you have, the higher your basal metabolic rate is. So the higher your BMR is. So preserving muscle helps to maintain a healthy metabolism, making it easier for you to manage weight, your weight loss in the long term. Okay, so that's the number one reason why we want to be hanging on to as much muscle as possible, because it keeps our metabolism functioning at a very good rate, and it doesn't slow down our metabolism. Secondly, we want strength and functionality. So muscle plays a vital role in supporting strength, mobility, and overall physical function. Losing muscle mass can lead to a decreased strength, impaired balance, and reduced functionality capacity, which may negatively impact daily activities and quality of life. How many of us want to age gracefully? How many of us want to be aging in a way where we are mobile, where we can walk, where we can do all of the activities that we want to be doing? Comment yes, that's what I want in the comments below. If that is what you want, if you want to be aging in a way where you are doing all of the activities that you love to do, then muscle is really important that we hang on to that as much as possible. Now, what happens when we do a lot of these diets, these fad diets that are out there? If we are looking at things like doing weight loss drugs like the GLP-1, like Ozempic, if you are looking at doing things like these extreme diets where you're extreme calorie restriction, if you are doing something like Ozempic and you are just doing Ozempic on its own, keep in mind you are going to be losing a lot of muscle mass at the same time. Same with when you do a lot of these extreme diets that are out there, like Dr. Bernstein, even Jenny Craig, or these other diets where you're eating about 1,000 calories a day or less than 1,200 calories a day. You are losing a significant amount of lean muscle. And this is why even when you're done doing drugs like Ozempic, I've talked to so many people within the community, they gain the weight back immediately afterwards. Okay, so you spend all that money, you invest all that money, and then you lose the weight, and as soon as you're done, you gain that weight back afterwards. Actually, your doctors are warning their patients that this will happen. And the biggest reason why this happens is obviously these things like these weight loss drugs, they suppress your appetite, but you're also losing a lot of lean muscle mass. So the ability for you to maintain that weight afterwards becomes very, very low, and the weight rebound effect is very, very high. So what we want is, to make sure that we're hanging on to as much muscle as possible, especially over the age of 40, because as we lose estrogen during perimenopause and menopause, we are going to have a harder time maintaining muscle mass, because estrogen is a growth hormone and acts very similar to testosterone, where it helps us build and maintain muscle mass. So we have two things going for you. If you are dieting and you are not doing what I'm going to be suggesting that you do to help you lose just body fat and not muscle, if you lose muscle in addition to that, you've got another thing you've got your hormones working against you as well too. Estrogen helps us build as much muscle mass as possible, and when we're losing estrogen over the age of 40 and progesterone, estrogen plays the very big part in helping us build and maintain muscle mass. So it does become harder for us to build muscle over the age of 40. It's not impossible, but we also want to make sure that we're doing everything to not lose even more muscle mass during our fat loss journey, okay? The other thing why muscle is so important is because if you want to achieve a lean, toned, hourglass body, that involves reducing body fat while maintaining and increasing muscle mass. Losing fat without losing muscle helps you look a lot better. It helps you get more defined. It creates a more aesthetically pleasing physique with improved muscle and muscle definition. Like, a lot of women want to look toned and defined, okay? However, what they don't realize is that muscle is what helps you look really toned and defined. Even in my own journey, my own weight loss journey, initially I was just focused on nutrition and cutting my calories. But what I realized is that I didn't like the way that I actually looked in the mirror. I was like a skinny, fat version of myself. I carried a lot of body fat within my midsection area. My legs were really tiny. I didn't look that great in bathing suits and bikinis because I had lost so much muscle mass. So I actually had to work with a coach to build muscle, to start eating in a way to help me build muscle so that I actually looked really good in my clothes afterwards. I built a booty, I reduced a lot of the body fat within my midsection, and I focused on just losing body fat and improving my overall body composition. So that is also another reason why we want to make sure that we're preserving as much muscle mass and not losing muscle mass during this whole process. The other thing that why it's so important is because it helps you maintain your weight loss afterwards. So when you lose weight, a portion of it typically comes from muscle tissue, especially if you're not actively preserving muscle mass through resistance training and adequate protein intake. This can lead to what we call weight loss resistance, where it becomes increasingly challenging to continue losing weight or maintaining your weight loss over time. And the reason why that happens is because, as you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down because you have this metabolic adaptation that happens. So then a lot of people, they plateau. And then what they end up doing is like, okay, well, I'm going to just cut even more calories or try to work out even more. But the metabolism keeps slowing down, and it becomes harder and harder and harder for you to lose that weight. Whereas if you keep your muscle mass high and you try to preserve as much lean muscle as possible, what is going to happen is that fat loss becomes a lot easier because your body is burning more calories at rest, okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? I know I've got Nancy watching live. Who else is watching live right now? If you can Let me know whether this has ever happened to you. Like, have you ever been in a situation? I'm going to just pull my phone up here right now. Have you ever been in a situation where, you know, you've lost weight and then you notice like that you've plateaued at the end of it? Let me know if this ever has happened to you. Pop yes, that's happened to me before in the past. And typically this is why it happens, is because you're losing muscle mass. So then your metabolism is slowing down. Your metabolism adapts to that. And then it also becomes really, really hard for you to maintain that weight loss afterwards. Okay. So those are like my top reasons why it's important. Can you firm up loose skin? Absolutely you can, by building muscle. So if you have muscle on your body, you could definitely firm up loose skin. Now, I will say that some of it, depending on how much weight loss you have, like for me, I've definitely firmed up my midsection, but I do have some loose skin there because I had babies, so my skin was stretched out a lot. I also gained a lot of weight during my pregnancy, so my skin did stretch out a lot. However, I have noticed that with building muscle, I've firmed up a lot. And a lot of our clients that come to us, have a lot of, they have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. You know, where you have like, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of it right now. Anyways, where they see like cellulite. That's the word I'm looking for, cellulite. So I've had clients that work for us that have a lot of cellulite in their booty area, in their legs area, and then they come to us, they start building muscle, and they significantly see a decrease in cellulite in their bodies as well too, because they're losing body fat and gaining lean muscle. So yes, you can firm up loose skin by strength training. You cannot firm up loose skin if you lose weight, which means you lose body fat and muscle. Okay, so there's a difference between losing weight and losing body fat. Body fat is where you're losing body fat only. You're preserving as much lean muscle as possible, or building lean muscle. And that is how you look really toned and defined at the end of it as well too. Okay, good question, Nancy. Okay, so how do we actually lose body fat and preserve as much lean muscle as possible, or also build lean muscle as possible? This is what we call body recomposition. Body recomposition means where you're losing muscle and you're where you're losing body fat and you're building muscle at the same time. And yes, it is possible. It is possible, especially if you're somebody that's starting off new on this journey. If you are someone that has a lot of weight to lose, this can totally happen. If you are someone that is leaner, then we need to build muscle first and then lose body fat afterwards. But the key to doing this is, number one, you need to prioritize strength training. So one of the most effective ways to preserve muscle mass while burning fat is through strength training. So you want to incorporate resistance or strength training exercise, which is done through weightlifting. And you can weightlift with dumbbells, resistance bands. You could do some body weight resistance like push-ups and things like that. However, it is best to use weights. And if you're someone that's starting off new, you start off with some dumbbells, resistance bands. You can have a yoga mat and also a stability ball at home. That's all you will need to get started. And then as you start building more muscle and getting stronger, you'll need more heavier weights to do that. So the way that you want to be strength training is you want to be using compound movements, okay? And I'm going to talk about this because what I see a lot on social media and like what's out there is like people doing these workouts where they are not promoting building muscle, okay? So first of all, cardiovascular workouts is a cardiovascular workout. So going on a bike, spinning, like elliptical running, these are all cardio-based workouts where they will not help you build muscle. If anything, they will actually promote you losing muscle mass, okay? And cardiovascular workouts are great. They're great for heart health. But if your goal is fat loss, you need to prioritize strength training, meaning that the majority of your workouts that you are doing is going to be strength training with compound lifts. Those compound lifts include squats, deadlifts, bench presses, rows, hip thrusts, pull-ups. Those type of exercises are considered compound lifts, and you could be doing variations of those compound lifts. So all of these exercises that you see that are like metabolically active, like where you're doing 2-for-1 exercises, these are not compound lifts. You want to be doing, like, even if you're doing group fitness classes, even if they have weights in them, it is not enough to stimulate muscle growth, okay? This is why I have clients that have done Orange Theory or these group fitness classes for years and come to us afterwards because they have not noticed any body composition changes in their body, okay? If you want to build muscle and lose body fat, you need to be doing these type of exercises, okay? And when you're doing these type of exercises, we are resting anywhere between 1 minute to 3 minutes in between your sets. You're doing 10 to 12 reps, you're resting, you're doing another 10 to 12 reps and you're resting, you're doing another 10 to 12 reps and you're resting. You're not resting 20 seconds in between. This is not enough rest period. The rest is, you need that rest to help your body go in and lift heavy so that you can stimulate the signal to build muscle to your body. Okay? Does any of you have any questions around that? You know, and when our clients work with us, their strength training programs is all, their programming with us is all strength training based, okay? So basically, all they do is strength training. In terms of like movement, we do a lot of walking, especially if you're a woman over 40. Walking helps lower cortisol levels. It also helps you get that daily activity in. So it also helps with burning body fat. But once you start getting into cardiovascular exercise, you know, what that will do is actually break down muscle mass for energy, and your body becomes adapted to that type of exercise. So yes, you do burn more calories while you're doing a cardiovascular workout. However, with strength training, you are burning more calories at rest and building up that metabolic burning machine, which is what we need in order for your body to lose body fat. Okay, does anybody have any questions about that? The difference, but like the type of actual exercise that you need to be doing in order to lose body fat and not, in order for you to burn body fat and not burn muscle. Is that clear to all of you? Please pop any questions if you have any questions below. So the first thing that you need to do is strength training. You want to be strength training anywhere between, 3 to 5 times per week. Minimal 3 times per week. Even 4 times per week is great. If you're someone that, doesn't have a lot of hormonal symptoms, you can go up to 5 times per week. But a lot of our clients that are over 40, they're going through perimenopause and menopause. We just do 4 times a week of strength training with walking with them. Sometimes we do 5 if they have been working out for a long time or they don't have a lot of hormonal issues going on as well too. Okay? So that is the first thing, is you got to make sure you're strength training. You got to make sure you're doing compound movements, and you got to make sure that you are training properly to stimulate muscle growth, okay? The other thing that's going to be really important is you need to eat adequate amount of protein. So nutrition plays a crucial role in achieving your fat loss goals without sacrificing muscle mass, okay? I think one of the biggest things that I see, mistakes that I see out there, is that a lot of people will turn to exercise for fat loss, and they actually have no regard with nutrition. So they go and work out, they train 7 days a week, but their nutrition, they're just like, well, I eat clean, it's still not enough, okay? When it comes to nutrition, you need to be eating enough protein in your diet. You need to be eating at least 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. And we want to be making sure that we're doing that, or ideal body weight. Okay, so 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight, or ideal body weight. What do I mean by that? If you're someone who's 180 pounds and your goal is 150 pounds, then you want to be eating 150 grams of protein per day. Okay, the other reason why this is so important when it comes to eating protein is that actually protein has a higher thermic effect of feeding compared to carbohydrates and fats. That means your body actually burns more calories digesting protein compared to carbohydrates and fats. So that will help with burning more fat. And it also keeps you very full and satiated, which will prevent you from overeating in calories. Okay? So protein is very, very key to helping you burn fat, and also helping you preserve and build lean muscle mass. So you can work out all you want. However, if you're not eating enough protein, it's going to be very, very hard for you to see those body composition changes that you're looking for. It's going to be very hard for you to build lean muscle mass. Okay, these two go hand in hand together. They go hand in hand together in helping you see the results that you want. The other thing that's really important is that you need to be in a slight calorie deficit. Now, I'm going to preface this a little bit. Not all of you are ready to go into a fat loss phase, okay? What I mean by that, if your metabolic health is not strong, meaning that you have dieted for a long period of time, you've done repeated dieting, like eating less than 1,200 calories a day. Let's say that you have a lot of symptoms like low energy levels. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe you have a lot of hormonal symptoms as well too. Brain fog, really hard time recovering from your workouts. Like if you're experiencing all of these symptoms, your body is not ready to go into a fat loss phase. But if you are ready to go into a fat loss phase, so if your body's not ready to go into a fat loss phase, you do need to spend time restoring your metabolic and hormonal health so that your body will actually respond well to fat loss. But if you are ready for a fat loss phase, then you can go into a slight caloric deficit, meaning that you are eating a little bit less calories than what your body requires in order to your body will tap into body fat for energy. And this is how we can get your body to lose body fat, okay? The other thing that's going to be really important is that you prioritize sleep and recovery, especially if you are a woman over 40. We lose estrogen and progesterone levels over 40. So our ability to deal with stress significantly decreases. So that is why it's important for us to sleep. Get an adequate amount of sleep. At least 8 hours of sleep per night is important. And we also want to make sure that we are also recovering. So we want to aim for the 8 hours of quality sleep per night to help support our hormonal balance, our metabolism. And when we are sleeping, this is actually when our body is building muscle. It's not when we're working out. When we are working out and lifting weights, we are sending to the body the signal to build lean muscle mass. However, the changes that happen in our body is happening when we're sleeping and when we're recovering on our days off. So it is just as important to sleep and recover as it is for you to actually be doing that strength training. Okay? Overtraining can lead to muscle breakdown and hinder your fat loss efforts. So the sleeping and recovering is super, super important. The other thing that you want to be doing is monitoring your progress. Okay? Now, what do I mean by monitoring progress, or how are we going to be monitoring progress? It's going to be done by measurements. Okay? The scale is just one point of data. How we know we are actually losing body fat is if you are losing inches within your waist and midsection area. Why? Because most of the fat that we are carrying, especially if you're a woman over 40, will be stored within your midsection area. This is what we call that menopausal belly. It's going to be stored more in this area. So what we do need to do is measure your waist and your midsection area. If we are losing inches within this area, this means we're actually losing body fat, okay? So that is how we want to be measuring progress on our journey, is we need to be measuring. The other thing that's super important is taking photos. The photos will tell you whether you're doing side by side. You can see a lot of body composition changes within your photos as well too. And the other thing is be patient, be consistent. Like things are, I always tell people, like, it didn't take you over 1 month to gain 20 pounds, okay? It took you several months to gain 20, 40, 50 pounds, however long it took you. It's going to take you time to lose that body fat as well too. So be really, really consistent with it. Now, one of the things that we do offer to everyone within the community here is that we know that one of the reasons why there's a lot of resistance to fat loss is one of these 5 reasons. Metabolism, hormones, your calories or macros, stress, or also the type of workouts that you are doing. So one of the ways that we empower our clients or our community members, is we actually tell you, we diagnose the problem or the root cause of what is holding you back or what is causing the weight loss resistance. We analyze your data and we tell you exactly what's holding you back and exactly how to fix it. This is called our Frenza Fit Assessment. It's designed to tell you which one of those are your root cause and how you can start seeing the results that you want. So we are going to give you the solution so that you are fully empowered to know exactly how to do this on your own. Now, for some women, they want accountability and they want us to guide them through the process. And we do that through our one-on-one coaching program. And then for some women, they feel like they can do it on their own. Either way, we are going to diagnose the root cause and give you the exact blueprint of what you need to do to fix this. We do this for free for every woman inside of our community, as we want to empower you to know exactly what you need to do. So everyone within our community gets our Frenza Fit assessment. So if this sounds like something that you want, make sure you comment assessment below and we will respond back to you and we can get that assessment done. Now, if you are already one of our one-on-one coaching clients, we already did the assessment, we already mapped out the plan, and we are addressing those root causes with you during our one-on-one coaching. But for those of you that are watching this, that are part of this community, maybe you're new to this community, we are offering that to you for free. So just comment assessment below, or you can send me a private DM and we could do this for you absolutely for free. This is something I normally charge $500 for, but because you are a community member, because you are part of my community, we offer this for you for free because I want to empower you to tell you exactly what's going on and what's holding you back. All right, thank you everyone for joining me today. Thank you, Nancy, if you're still there, for joining me. If there's anyone else that's joining me right now, do any of you guys have any questions about what I went over today? If you do have any questions, please pop it in the comment section below. Or if not, you can send me a private DM if you have any questions about this. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you is next week, we are starting our free 14-day 40 plus fat loss kickstart challenge. If you are a client, you can join. It's completely free. If you are not a client, you can join. It's completely free. This challenge is going to empower you to help you build up those habits. That is really, really crucial for fat loss, especially for women over 40. Understand that what you used to do before in the past, in your 20s and 30s, where it's super restrictive dieting and overtraining, it's not going to work for you anymore. So we have to change our approach to fat loss as a woman over 40. So this challenge is going to help you build up those habits to teach you exactly what you need to do and how to approach fat loss during this time frame. So if you want to join that, look out for the post today. You'll be able to join that Yeah, hi Nancy, thanks. Yes, take the challenge. Nancy, you could join it as well too. All of our clients, you could join it as well too. This was actually a popular challenge that I did in March. A lot of you loved it, so that is why I'm bringing it back again. So I'd love to have you guys join us for free. It's completely free. You get lots of free resources. You get accountability within the group, and we can help you really just master those skills to helping you with your own fat loss journey. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys. Yeah, hopefully we can get a lot of you in this challenge. And that is starting on May the 13th and going until May the 26th. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day and talk later. Bye for now.